recording?
We are recording.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to Brain Dump. My name is Kai, and this is a show where I talk about pretty much whatever the fuck I want to talk about. This is Nick, my boyfriend, the infamous Nick. I just want to add a disclaimer that like 11 minutes into this, the microphones just suddenly stop working. So, yeah, after that, it's just the microphone from the camera. So I apologize, but yeah.
Hello. First time on Brain Dump. I'm super excited.
Super excited. He's a really big fan. So today we're going to talk about Until Dawn, which is one of our favorite video games. And Nick has a lot to say about it. And so do I. But Nick loves the game.
Yeah, so we're both real big horror fans. Movies. Just saw one yesterday. Also a big fan of, games as well. So this one really hit up our alley. Obviously, it's an older game. It's been out since 2015, which is like the year I graduated high school. I might be dating myself there.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's great. And today we're kind of break down, the characters we like, the gameplay, the story. We even found special intrigue in the sound design as well. So without further ado, honey, what's your top 10 characters in this game? I'm sorry, top eight characters in this game.
Okay, so my number one is Sam, and I love Sam because she's so fucking cool, and I think she's got a boss ass bitch personality, you know?
Oh yeah,
and she's just like,
I see it.
she's just rolling with it, and she, is in a towel for like a quarter of the game, and she doesn't care. She don't give a fuck that she's in a towel. And then she finally changes, but she doesn't change into her original outfit, which I don't think would work with all the climbing that she does.
Yeah.
She got that like those leggings on. She brought a workout outfit for this exact situation.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your number one? Let's alternate.
We're alternating.
Yeah.
Also, before we kind of get really going into this, I want to say like we thought about this episode because of the Until Dawn 2 release. We're super or announcement, but we're super excited for that to come out. It's been obviously about 11 years since the first one came out, so this is well overdue. Obviously, the company behind it, Supermassive Games, has produced many games that we enjoy, but they all kind of follow that similar Until Dawn formula. So, we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite character in the game will be a shocker here, but it was also Sam.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you have a big group like that, I'm a guy who loves like people who can step up and lead. So it's not gonna be a surprise when my second character is. But Sam, she's just a badass. She was cool. She was out here trying to make sure everybody was taken care of, man. But when it was time to really get down to it, she was doing that. So
you had such a better explanation of why you liked her than me. Number two, my boy Mike. Mike is very funny. I think he's such a smart ass. He's a smart ass, and
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, my favorite character as well is also Mike. No surprise there. He's one of the leaders of the group. I think the game kind of centers Sam and Mike to kind of be that, those final characters that kind of lead the group out.
Because you can't get to the end without them too, right?
Yeah. So, but Mike, I mean, one thing I like is actor. By the way, I'm a huge nerd. I used to watch a show called Agents of Shield, which came out like around the first Avengers movie. But Brett Dalton, he's awesome. Play Agent Grant Ward in that show. Just a great character, one of my favorite characters in that universe. But overall, man, he is definitely, he's the class president, right? So he's definitely that guy people look up to. They didn't say he was like an athlete like Matt, but he had all the intangibles. And also, Mike is very much a badass as well. We saw that in the sanitarium, and we saw it in the house. And I mean, he's the guy who makes tough decisions. So.
And I hated the sanitarium part. I would always get lost every time. Number three is Chris. I really liked Chris because, well, first of all, you'll see later where I ranked Ashley, but I kind of like Chris and Ashley's little relationship they got going on. And I think that Chris just seems like a very genuine guy, and he actually like cares about Josh, and I appreciate that about him because it feels like I don't know. I feels like Mike doesn't really care as much about Josh as Chris does.
Yeah, they're best friends,
Yeah,
Josh
yeah.
and
So it
Chris.
makes more sense, but like it's just you see his heart in that way, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's why I like most about him, and also he reminds us of a old manager that we used to have named Chris.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so my third favorite character was actually Emily. Now, Emily, made no mistake, is a bitch for sure. I would probably not get along with her in like real life, but she is very smart. She's very resourceful. She had they had the idea of going to the radio tower for calling for help, which actually, saved them at the end of the game for all the survivors. The help came right at dawn. She was a badass in the mine, trying to escape from Wendigo. She just was very resourceful. I think she used like her shirt or something,
Oh
or a
yeah,
scarf or
to
whatever
light
to
it on
like
fire.
yeah to have a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, she's just something about her, right? She's not a bland character like I think some of the characters on the bottom of the list are, but she definitely had like her very good characterization. So
I agree. My number four is Emily. I think she can be a real bitch at times, but I think she's very entertaining. And I also like the actress that plays Emily.
oh
She's
yeah,
from one of our favorite shows, Superstore.
that's right, that's
And
right.
she just, she is a boss ass bitch.
Yeah.
4.0, bitch. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Let's go.
All right, so my fourth was Matt. Now, Matt kind of, on face value is kind of a bland character, but he actually I think he has the biggest dichotomy based on like how you play him, right?
Wait, what does that mean?
So like a range. He can either be like the biggest dumbass in the game, or he can be really smart.
Yeah.
For example, like you know, say like when Matt and Emily were trying to find the radio tower, and they came across like all these like deer or
Mm-hmm.
elk or whatever they were
Yeah.
on the corner, right? You can either remain calm and calm down Emily and move through the deer no problem, or if you start to like swing out with the axe, like the worst case scenario is that you can actually die right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's insane to me, right? Either he's like a very gentle giant who's able to calm the situation down, or he's a fucking meathead that just likes to swing at stuff. So there are other examples of that, but Matt, I feel like if you play him right, he's a real compassionate character. As you've seen in the game, he does like save Jess. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he can he can save Emily to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really like Matt.
Yeah, that's a good one. What around five?
Yeah.
Okay, my number five was Jess, and Nick has Jess lower on this list, but I think Jess is funny. I don't know if she adds like a whole lot to. Well, for the most part, like she's not like she's either dead like from like pretty early on in the game,
Yeah.
or you don't see her for a while. So I don't think she adds like a whole lot to the story. But I still like her as a character. I think she's funny. I feel like my reasonings are a lot more short-winded than his are, but yeah.
Hey, I love this game. I could talk about this for a whole day for sure. Okay, so as far as my I'm at right now. I'm at number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Chris. I had Chris lower than I thought. I love these characters, by the way, guys. Like even like character number 8. Like I have a soft spot for all these characters. I think that they did a great job with this game. I do think Chris, if my list is a little low, I may have wanted to switch him and Matt. But Chris is also one of those good characters, right? Chris, man, he can be passionate. Depends on how you play him as well. That's the thing about this game. It's like these characters kind of from a story standpoint, they kind of change based on how you answer. But the thing about the characters too is like they do have kind of like a natural skeleton of what the character should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you answer something, say with Ashley, for example, we'll talk about her a little later, but like, if you answer the right way, quote unquote, her honesty goes down, right? So it's like her character isn't necessarily like an honest character, but
Mm-hmm.
like you can play her that way. With Chris, Chris to me, I mean, he's the funny character, right? But he also can be really brave, right? And he is really protective for the people close to him, Josh or Ashley, and he overall, I mean, I think his all of his story mode like time is all fun. You
Mm-hmm.
know, either you're in the house, going up against whatever type of crazy ass trap set Josh set up,
Mm-hmm.
or you're out there shooting when he goes with shotgun. So,
Yeah.
but overall, I mean, I think Chris is a fun character. It's a lot of fun scenes, and he's a very likable character. Right? I don't have any reason not to like Chris.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I like the mechanic of the game where like you basically get to build like who they are and
Yeah.
like their honesty and their charitability or whatever the fuck, like all the attributes of them. I think that's a really cool part of the game too.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um, six. My number six was Josh. I think Josh is funny as fuck. Like obviously he's fucked up, but like I
Yeah, he's
think
a little messed up in the head.
I just like him.
Yeah,
I like Josh. I think he's funny.
yeah. Obviously, big actor that plays Josh. Remy, is it Malik or Malik? Yeah, but has had a bunch of big roles. So obviously, his performance, like the other characters, is really good. His really does stand out. I mean, I think he's a great character as well. I have him ranked a little lower on my list. No, I don't. I have him at 6 as well.
Oh.
Look at that. Yeah. Nah, Josh. He definitely brings a lot to the story. I mean, he's the one that's mostly driving the story for the most part, and you really feel for the guy. I think the writers and the performance here really does well to make you feel sorry for someone who clearly has a mental health issue, on top of the tragedy of losing his sisters. Mostly due to the actions of his friends. Accident that it might be, it still was caused by his friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Chris out of that because Chris was definitely asleep. That you're knocked out along with Josh, which is funny because like I feel like some of those traps like really kind of impacted Chris a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, Chris had nothing to do with this, Chris is knocked out, so that's always something that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 7.
Number 7, I have Matt. I feel like Matt doesn't really add a whole lot to the story at all. Does he? Like, in our first playthrough together, he died, like, immediately. Like, when they got to the radio tower, we just didn't save him. On accident, obviously. We didn't do that on purpose. But, I just feel like when I played it again, I saved him, and he just still wasn't in that much of the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like he just didn't add that much to the story, so that's why I ranked him so low. I will say, though, I do love all these characters. Like, there's not one that I, like... I don't hate Ashley, but, like... There's not one that I don't really
We'll get to Ashley here in a second.
Yeah. But, like, out of the first 7, there's not one that I really dislike at all. But, yeah, Matt he didn't do much for me.
It's so funny, because, like... I do put Matt and Jess in the same boat of like not really having much to do. Yeah, because it really don't. There's no secret at this point.
Yeah.
It's funny how you have Jess ranked 5th and I have Matt ranked. Never mind.
4th.
Never mind. I have Matt really high actually.
Yeah.
But for my 7th character, I actually had Jess. Right, which once again, it's like Jess, Matt are kind of similar characters. So we're like they're just the I guess current girlfriend guy friend, and they just kind of get lost in the weeds. I mean, obviously the story is a little more centered towards like people like Mike or Emily, and Matt and Jess kind of get pushed aside as the significant other. But Jess is one of those characters where like towards the end of the game you definitely do feel for her. She goes through the most in this game. It's just an interesting character as well. You definitely can unlock a lot of character development with her throughout her conversations with Mike, right? You definitely see that. Overall, just not really in the game. Not really involved. Has to be saved a lot.
But like, if she does survive, you're right. She does go through like the most out of like anyone. Like, if she does survive to the end, like she's the most fucked up looking because like she was in the mines by herself for like the entire night. So, right? Yeah. And for our 8th pick for both of us, we both put Ashley. Oh man, poor Ashley. She's just annoying as fuck. Like, I really don't like her. Yeah. I mean, let's see. So Ashley, she's the curious one. She yeah, there's a lot of scenes where she's just like shut up, going crazy, getting scared, putting people in a rough spot,
I think the most infamous thing she's done probably was there's two infamous things. All right, one's a little more infamous, but I would say the one infamous thing would be with Emily, right? So like she was a big proponent in like making like, oh my god, you're bitten, shoot her, you gotta get out of here, real crazy stuff there. But then like we kind of are also like keyed into the more devious side of her, right? When it comes to like, if you choose to shoot her as Chris, she will close that door on your ass. You're out there
Chris
alone.
Is cooked.
She would not open that door for you.
Yeah.
So, which causes Chris's death. So, she doesn't quite. I mean, she kind of ties to somebody else with a lot of the game, right? So, like her story when it comes to the house is kind of tied to Chris. So, she has like similar gameplay that he does, and then like the only other gameplay she really has is when she's down in the mines and she could potentially die. Yeah. So
that's what I like though about this game. There's like a lot of the butterfly effect is like a really big thing because like choices that you make like at the very beginning of the game impact whether like Ashley's gonna open the door for Chris or not. I feel like that's like there's a lot of choices in that game that lead to like different things that are like way after the choice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, long-time Brain Up listeners would know that this one's a big fan of Life is Strange, right?
Yeah.
Which is all about making choices.
Yeah.
Some Life is Strange, you get the rewind button. Here, you don't really have that option. If you're gone, you're gone.
I will say, I think that playing Life is Strange was my first like choice-based game.
Yeah.
Kind of, it didn't ruin it for me, but like now in every choice-based game I made, I want to rewind. Or like, I always like press reload to last checkpoint before it saves, so I can like see what happens if I made the different choice. And I hate that I do that, but yeah. So, last thing for the characters. My favorite character to play as was Sam, and an honorable mention to Emily, because just Emily in the Mines is just fun.
Yeah, I would say mine is Mike as well. I mean, I think those are the top three characters played: Mike, Sam.
Mine was Sam. You said Mike as well.
No.
It's okay.
Yeah, my favorite character to play was Mike. I'm an action type of gamer. I play a lot of things. It's kind of put in the mind of like a Last of Us with Joel or like a Uncharted. So kind of like going out there now when it goes with my shotgun. But also, you get a lot of lore with the mine, stuff like that. Maybe that storyline could have been a little more interesting, but I think it was interesting enough. And there was definitely a big climax when it came to the Mike Sanatorium episodes. So
I hated that part though.
Very easy to get lost at first. All right, so now we're kind of getting into the story and gameplay. And honey, what do you think about the story and gameplay of this game?
In the notes, I wrote that it slays. I think that this story has a lot of good twists and turns, and for the most part, like obviously the most crazy one is the fact that Josh is like the crazy person. I don't remember if I was expecting that or not. I don't remember what my initial reaction to that was, but I know that I definitely like didn't have him in mind. Like, did you know that was gonna happen? Did you have
not really, no.
Okay. I thought that was I think the way that they did it was really good because they like waited until like, when was that, chapter 2 when they revealed it, or was it 3, 4? When they revealed that Josh is the...
I think it was like chapter 5 or 6.
Damn. Yeah, so like they waited a little bit. I think that the suspense was good because there's like the whole suspense of like this murderer, but then there's also like these fucking monsters in the second half of the game. So it's like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. And speaking about that, the game, the way it's set up, it's set up as a typical serial killer type crime game, right? There's nothing really, there's little hints there, right? If you look at like Chasing Hannah and Beth, you can see something with a red tint over the eyes, right? So, or red filter. So it kind of, I guess, alludes to the fact that something that was chasing that wasn't human. But overall, the game mostly sets up to be this serial killer type game, and then you get that plot twist, right, of the Wendigo. And I think the game did a really good job in really explaining that. I like a lot of like folklore and like cryptids and stuff like that. So like I'm pretty tuned into what the Wendigo is. But I think the game overall really made the audience comfortable and clear with that concept, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think they did a good job at like including it in the little journal that they found in the basement, like with all the information about the Wendigos and like how if you get bit, you're not cooked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the jump scares in this game?
I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not a fan of jump scares, but I think you're getting better with all the horror things I'm subjecting him to.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the jump scares. Yeah, there was plenty of them in this
There
game.
was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it was used as like quite a gimmick. I think they're really well placed jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think any type of horror movie or any type of horror media is going to need some type of suspense build up to really kind of reward the jump scare. But I think this game did a really good job with that. They did not use it as a cheap mechanism, but it was definitely well planned out and well executed as well.
I agree. And I know that we talked about before that playing as Emily in the mines is like one of our favorite parts of the game.
Yes. I mean, that's when you first see the Wendigos too.
Yeah.
And like, man, but that was scary. And also, scary. Like, you know, the Hannah and Beth storyline, you know, knowing what happened. And then also the reveal of like the kind of the main Wendigo that's been hunting you ends up being Hannah.
Right.
So that was very crazy.
I feel like there's just always another twist. Like, you think that you know everything now that you know that Josh is like the crazy person, but then there's like this whole other aspect of like fucking monsters that are on the loose, and then you find out that the monster is one of the dead sisters, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So many twists and turns.
Yeah. Had the whole Ouija board out there too.
Ouija board was crazy.
Yeah.
I know that you liked Mike's little investigation of the mines.
Yeah. You know, I think that was probably the storyline that probably takes the biggest hit as far as people probably weren't that engaged with it. But overall, I like the aesthetic of the sanitarium. It was very icky, very creepy. You know, you feel like something can be around any corner. You know, you had the dogs out there, the wolves out there as well. It was kind of, you know, nice cute scene to have Mike bond with the wolf.
Or kill the wolf.
I don't think he kills the wolf.
Doesn't he?
I think the wolf can die if like you don't like barricade a door.
Oh, you're right.
That's like when it's like around chapter 9,
so
right?
Basically killing the dog.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Oh, we also like that all the outcomes of the game, like you can either save them all, kill them all, save 2, save 3, like there's just like so many different outcomes, and I like that at the end they have their little police testimonials, and also if there's like no one there, it's like there's no survivors. It's a little eerie for sure. Sorry.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people maybe made the criticism that there maybe wasn't that much different outcomes overall, but this game, I mean, like, there's so much as far as here with the dialogue or the story choices that you might have a character survive completely different than, you know, how they would be otherwise. For example, like, the character of Ashley that survived after, you know, closing the door on Chris and not letting him in is different than the character of Ashley that maybe had a great romance with Chris and survived towards the end. So, like, I do feel like there are different outcomes in the story, even though the main umbrella outcome is usually pretty similar, right? The house blows up. That's going to happen every time.
Yeah.
But I do believe the characterization and just, I mean, someone who is engaged with stories, like, this game can provide so many different storylines. So, yeah. And
we were talking about earlier about how we like the QTEs, but sometimes they're a little easy.
QTEs are really easy.
Compared to
for the most part. But, like, there was another thing as well that was a little tougher. It's the staying still.
Oh, yeah, the staying still.
Oh, my goodness.
Those were fun, but it was very scary. Very, like, I held my breath.
Yeah.
We're playing this new game. Sorry to be off topic, but what is it called? The Devil in Me?
Yeah, also by the same company.
Yeah, so we're playing that right now, and the QTEs in that one are so much more difficult. So I guess compared to Until Dawn, these were really easy.
Yeah, but you know, I think the QTEs were all placed in the right spots, really good, and then that staying still, motionless, that always got me, man.
Especially the one at the end with Sam.
Oh yeah,
I hate that one.
Ooh, there's a couple there, yeah.
Yeah. I guess as for graphics, I don't know much about graphics, but I think it looked very aesthetically pleasing.
Oh yeah, this game was phenomenal. And for the audience out there, we were talking about the original Until Dawn game, the one that came out in 2015, not the remake one. I haven't had a chance to really dive into that one. I probably eventually will before the second one comes out. But I'm definitely. I think the original, the artwork to me, it just works, right? The colors all work. You have this very dark, moody aesthetic, you know, and you're on this snowy mountain, and everything feels like, you know, how it should feel. You know, when you're in the mines, you have that dark feeling, right? You're in a sanitarium, man, dark, grimy, you know, and even in the cabin, you know, the cabin was beautiful in my opinion, and just how the light shines through. And I think everything about the way this game looks was really good. I think the motion capture on the actors looked phenomenal as well,
especially for 2015.
Yeah,
like it looked really good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And these are actors out, you know, I grew watching that I really liked. You know, Hayden Panettiere. Yeah, Panettiere. Hayden looked really good. I remember watching her back in Heroes, and I think she was in Bring It On, which is.
She was in Bring It On. Is that what we saw?
She's in some type of show.
I think you're right. I think you're right. We were looking at her credits. Yeah.
Right. So, but she's great. All the other characters look great in this as well. But overall, I mean, I think they did a phenomenal job in really making sure that the artwork and the graphics all matched up to the tone.
I agree. And I think the last thing we want to really talk about was the soundtrack. Oh, Dad. Favorite song.
Yes, man. That was a great song. I think everything sounded great. I think the sound quality was really good. The ambiance, the background music. Everything I think went really well.
There was a song that was in the background of the snowball fight scene with Mike and Jess that I really liked, that I have to figure out the name of because it was a really good song.
Right.
But that really stood out to me.
Yeah. Check it out. Overall, this game has just so much to it, so much depth. You have the clues, you have the possible scenarios that are happening. You have the little totems that you have to find.
Oh my god, so many totems.
Which I just think this game is really replayable. Sure. I replayed it probably 4 or 5 times myself.
And I'm still only like 50% through the trophies.
Yes. So, but Until Dawn was a great game. I'm super excited for Until Dawn 2.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be great. We're still trying to work through some other Supermassive games. You know, we
played The Quarry. Well, I played it first, and then I introduced him to it.
Yeah, like we're currently playing The Devil in Me, which is another good one. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of these games. We are a fan of these games, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for meeting Nick.
Peace out.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. Remember that you're loved and valued and appreciated in this world, and I love you. Okay.